They surrendered without a fight. Rebels in Dumayr have agreed to leave, accepting an offer from the Syrian and Russian militaries for safe passage to rebel areas in northern Syria. Hundreds of fighters are to be evacuated, along with a few thousand of their family members. They didn't want a repeat of the pro-government alliance's military assault against what was once the rebel enclave of eastern Ghouta.
After the brutal regime displaced the people of eastern Ghouta, it now wants to do the same here. So to prevent this and prevent further destruction, we accepted to surrender. This will save the lives of civilians.
As part of the deal, the rebels handed over their medium-sized and heavy weapons. The town in the Kalamun region northeast of Damascus has been under siege for years. More than 100,000 people live there, half of them internally displaced. The deal avoided a military offensive. The army and its allies are now giving the rebel factions that control the other towns in the Kalamun enclave 24 hours to surrender or face a stepped-up bombing campaign. The pro-government alliance has been using the threat of military action to force their opponents to lay down their weapons without a fight. It has given ISIL 48 hours to leave the districts the armed group controls in southern Damascus or face an all-out military offensive. Those districts are under siege, and the army has sent reinforcements to the front lines. And in the past 72 hours, and after months of a relative lull in the fighting, the opposition-controlled northern countryside of Homs was heavily bombarded.
They started a military assault on northern Homs and neighboring southern Hama to pressure the negotiating committee that represents the opposition to surrender. These areas are supposed to be de-escalation zones agreed in Astana. We are looking for a solution that doesn't involve the military option.
The opposition is in talks with the Russian military. A ceasefire is now in place until negotiations resume on Sunday. The pro-government alliance wants the enclave returned to state rule. The opposition, however, is hoping for a long-term ceasefire agreement.
The people in the northern countryside of Homs don't want their town to be destroyed. We don't want war. We want peace. And we don't want to be displaced. That is what we want. But if the regime and the Russians launch a military assault, rebel commanders have said they will fight back.
Rebels are increasingly under pressure. Their territories are under siege. The Syrian government and its allies are in a strong position and are clearly pushing ahead with a military solution to crush the rebellion. Zana Khuder, Al Jazeera, Beirut.